It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and you're going to get the best tax information and all the stuff about Obamacare and all of your questions answered here on News Radio 930 WBEN. And we would love you to call us, 803-0930. 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone, because we want to talk taxes, whether you're getting letters, whether you haven't filed, if you owe money, if you want to know what's happening. Baby, we're going to tell you. And I got Tiffany Fabian with me.
Hey there, Esther. How you doing?
I'm good. And Christopher.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Christopher. Did you guys go trick-or-treating last night?
No, it was the first year neither Mommy nor Daddy went.
Right.
Gracie's telling me second year. I don't know. I have my 14-year-old, and she said it's been 2 years since we've gone.
It's been 2.
That was Gracie.
So we
better known as Woody.
We are now devoid of trick-or-treating. It happens when your kids get older.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And where I live, nobody ever darkens my doorway. You can have a bowl of candy there, and you have to eat it all yourself. You're just left to eat the candy.
That's not a good plan.
Yeah, because I live up in Youngstown on the lake, and so I live on a dirt road.
And they could come trick-or-treating by boat.
That's right, by boat or on broom, by broom.
Right. Well, there's a thing when you're trick-or-treating, you want to be able to hit the most amount of houses in the maximum vicinity.
There's
and
only
so,
like 13
yeah,
houses on my dirt road.
So that wouldn't maximize
and it
their...
doesn't look like the most... inviting kind of
right.
place. Anyway, I'm Esther Gulius, the Tax Lady, 803-0930, 803-0930, star 930 on a cell phone. We got stuff happening. Okay, we have the Saturday class starts this
Today.
day, right?
Yep.
Except for Medina starts next Saturday, but this one they started
and Albion
today.
Starts
yes.
Wellsville starts Monday.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so if you're somebody who want to go to tax school, we only have a few openings, if
right.
that. And I suggest you get into our website at egtax.com and you can register online.
Right.
And so if you're way far north or way far south or in between, we got a class in Amherst, a class down in Wellsville, and a class up in Medina.
And a class in your home.
And a class in your home if you want to take it. Because you're so classy, right?
That's right.
People take our class. And then we also wanted to talk about a seminar, upcoming seminar we're going to be hosting.
Yep, we're going to have a seminar on December 3rd, the first Wednesday of December. And we're going to do a lot of healthcare. We're going to do small businesses. We're going to, for payroll,
which is really
taxes.
important, especially small businesses that think they might have to or wondering if they have to pay for health insurance, because this is going to become a real big thing on your P&L, business owners. And so we want to help business owners. We want to help you if you are a person looking for health insurance. Right, Chris?
Correct. We just did 2 health fairs today in Niagara County helping people. And, people still are very unaware of how their income and affects their health insurance and how it affects their tax return.
That's right.
So we're trying to help people understand it so they're better prepared for not only this year coming up, but all future years.
So if somebody wants to register for the free seminar, and it is free, and we're going to have all kinds of information there, and of course, I think we're having it at the Holiday Inn in Amherst.
Correct, right off the
on
290.
Niagara Falls Boulevard. Yep. So they would register by, is it on our website?
It will be on our website.
It will be on our website on Monday, but give us a call at 632-7886, 632-7886. We can take it there. You can even email Esther through our website, when you have a question.
Ask the tax lady.
And say, Esther, I'm interested in your seminar. Sign me up, and she'll pass it on.
Right. All right, and then the other thing is we wanted to talk about a lot of the increases in things that you can write off for 2014.
Right. The IRS just released the tax items for 2015 of greatest interest to taxpayers, and number one be the tax rate of 39.5 0.6%. Wow. Affects singles whose income exceeds $413,200,000, and a married couple $464,850,000.
Now, I know those are big numbers, but here you see the marriage penalty.
Yep.
If you had two single executives living together, same sex
$900,000
or
almost.
opposite sex,
Right.
or whatever sex, you could have at 826,000,
Right.
and before you went up to the 39.6% bracket. But if you're married and you're doing things the right way, it's 464,000. So you can see that it would be much better to be two single people living together.
It would behoove you not to be married. It's
Right.
just mind-boggling. And so, the tax rates are 10, 15, 25, 28, 33, and 35.
And then the magic 139.
And that one's a new guy, right?
Right.
Yeah, how exciting. And then,
All right,
Chris,
and-
what's the next one?
Standard deductions going up for single and married filing separate people. Standard deduction $6,300, $12,600 for married filing joint. And let's see, and head of household rises to $92.50. So they're all going up a little.
A little, right. And then the limitation for itemized deductions for, again, here you go. Your itemized deductions start to completely phase out at $258,250, right? Mm-hmm. But that's if you're single, but it's $309,009 if you're married joint. So you can see 258,000 doubled would be 500 and some thousand.
Yep.
If you're two people living together, but if you're married filing jointly and you're doing the right thing, it's 309.
Wow.
So you can see. All right, and then personal exemptions this year moved to
$400,000. $4,000.
$400,000. Holy cow.
$4,000 a person.
So everybody's worth $4,000 this year. That's on your return. AMT, they lifted it a little more, so less money's going to be taxed at the high rate. That's up a little bit. The earned income credit.
Right. The 2015 earned income credit is, the magic number is $6,242 for taxpayers filing jointly who have 3 or more kids, and that's up from $6,143 the year before.
So they're giving you an extra $100.
Right.
And that's money that you get if you didn't pay money in.
Right.
If the right conditions are met.
Yep. I call those the Energizer bunnies, right, Chris?
That's right. They keep
All right,
going and going.
The gift exclusion is still $14,000 for 2015.
Right.
What else?
And we got
You can die and be worth about $900,000 more. So your estate can now be worth $5.4
And then,
million.
yeah,
Your,
New
no
York-
estate taxes.
Right.
If your estate is worth $5,430,000
for federal
and New
federal.
York.
is now
is-
$2 million going up to $3 million.
Right,
It's
'cause
going up a million
they're coming
a year.
up to the federal.
Yep.
New York is losing a lot of millionaires because who wants to die and have to pay New York State the estate tax?
Right, so they're
And
leaving to
right,
other states.
and so they're going to other states.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm
And so
Esther-
New York State is trying to circumvent that by raising
right,
the limit.
That's the plan.
Right.
I'm Esther Galias, the tax lady. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're going to take a short break. We'll be on the other side. We're going to give you some things to think about.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh,
Everywhere you go.
Thank you. We were just talking before the show about how
And
they're
that's Perry
starting to
Como,
play
I believe.
Christmas music.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no, it's not
Bing.
Perry Como.
That's Bing.
Bing Crosby. Okay.
The
okay.
one and only Christmas
The
singer.
only-
Right.
Yep.
So Tyler said it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I reject it that they start playing Christmas
Before
music.
Thanksgiving.
By Christmas, I can't wait for them to turn it off. I'm
true.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Grandma got run over by a reindeer out. I just don't want to hear it anymore.
And Dominic the Donkey.
And I'll tell you, I was over at Lowe's or something the other day. I think 2 months ago they had Christmas stuff out. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was at Dollar General today, and they had Christmas decorations out. It's almost like Thanksgiving is just overlooked. I'm just bewildering.
No, because it's everything for retail. Anyway, I'm Esther Galias, the tax lady. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Talk to me, babies. I want to hear what you have to say. And all right, we're going to give you some things to think about. All right. Since it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, that means you only have 2 months to maximize your 401k and 403b plans, and that would be how much?
17,500 is allowed each year maximum, and if you're over the age of 50, you get the catch-up provision, which is an additional 5,500 a year.
So people think, oh, I can only put 3% in, or I can only put 5% of my wages in. That's not true. It's an elective deferral.
Right.
So if something happened this year and you got some extra money and you're looking to a tax plan, and by the way, we suggest you guys call us to do your free tax plan. This is the time you'd put that extra money in because it reduces your taxable income on your W-2, and that's a good thing.
Yep. There was a client who came in Friday, and that's exactly what we were doing. We were crunching the numbers to see how much extra she should put in, and it's a great idea. It's a great idea. She's 59, 60, and it's just something you want to take advantage of.
Well, and not to mention how, especially as you're approaching retirement age, you want to load up your pension as much as possible because once the jig is up, you that's it. You have to start living on the money that you put away.
Right.
And you want to do that as soon as you can. All right, speaking about retirement, don't forget your RMD.
Right. I got a funny story about this, too. There was a client who called me up the other day, and she said, I want to know how much my RMD is. And I says, okay, what's the value of it? I don't know. Esther knows. Esther does my return. She knows the value. I go, I can tell you, Esther does not know the value of your pension plan, your IRA. Oh, Esther knows. I go, really? She doesn't know. You got to call the holder. But anyways, I don't think they believe me.
Yeah,
you know, she said.
Well, I mean, I know if I have their form.
Right.
I don't know normally.
Right.
But anyway, what you would do is you would take the total value of your annuities and your pensions and your IRAs that you aren't withdrawing once you reach age 59 and a half. And that is as of December the 31st of 2014,
The year before.
right? And you divide that by your life expectancy. And if this is your first year that you turn 70 and a half, the divisor is 27.6,
Okay.
isn't it? 27.4. And you divide that into the total, and that's the amount you must take out of your annuities, IRAs, and pensions that you're not withdrawing on. Now, failure to do that is a big, big penalty, and the penalty is 50% of the amount you did not take out of your pension plan by December the 31st of this year.
That's huge.
Right?
So,
Once
yep.
you reached age 60.
So if
70
you
and a half.
have $100,000 in your IRA, that would be about $3,650 rounded you would have to take out. If you forgot to do it, your penalty would be $1,825.
And that penalty cannot be reduced by itemized deductions, adjustments, losses on pensions. It is strictly hanging out there like a tax,
Right.
and you have to pay taxes on it. So if you don't know what your RMD is, or if you're getting ready to go to Florida and you say, oh, we'll do it later, and you forget, it's really a gigantic pension. So penalty. So you want to make sure you check with us if you need help. And you can get a hold of us through our website at
Right.
egtax.com, or you can call us at 632-7886.
Yeah, because there's always a chance that you could have the penalty forgiven if there's a reason you were in the hospital, you were...
the penalty can be forgiven.
Right,
There
right.
is a form you can ask for, but you really need a really good reason.
secure
So if you're not going to take your money out of your RMD like you're supposed to, then you should do something like really get sick and go into the hospital because you need a good excuse.
You know, I've been doing taxes for about 13, 14 years, and the other day I had a guy who had a letter that he had a $10,000 penalty. It's for failure to file a business return. Right, Chris? You looked at the
It was
letter.
$18,000.
18,000.
For which business? What kind of business? You mean
It was a
corporation?
Corporation.
So the IRS is now going after people if
Yep.
failure to
If,
Yeah.
if
But
you
I will
file
say,
it late,
But I
yep,
will say this about that.
you can try.
A corporation, there's no teeth. If there's
Right.
nothing, if there's no assets in the
Right.
corporation,
I'm gonna type
there's
up a
no
letter.
teeth for them to the 18,000. Where are they going to get it
Right,
from?
that's what I'm
going
gonna
to
type up a letter if
and
he
that's why
pays that he's gonna go bankrupt.
Usually, they don't go after them because if there's no assets
Well,
in the
that's what I was
corporation.
going to say. I'd never seen a letter like that.
Well, they're pulling a lot of different things out of their head.
They
Okay.
want money.
Anyway, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. Let's see. What else? Have you started to take out your Social Security benefits?
Right.
If you have, and you're under age 65, then the amount you can earn as wages before you have to start paying back part of your Social Security is $15,480. And your Social Security might also be taxable as well, right?
Right.
And people have a problem understanding what that means, right?
Well, they
Chris?
confuse the two of them.
Right.
They definitely confuse the two of them. The first part is if you're working, you have earned income. So if you made $16,000, you would have to give $1 for every 2 over. So $520 divided by 2 is $260 you would have to repay back to your Social Security.
In other words, they cut your Social Security by the $260,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so that's why, and on top of that, if you made the $16,000 in wages and you got your Social Security and a pension, your Social Security might be taxable as well.
Yep.
Right.
From anything over, if you're single, $25,000, including half your Social Security, then that part over would be 50%, up to 85% taxable. And married filing joint people, it's $32,000.
Right. And so what you want to do is if you're planning on collecting Social Security, but you're going to get substantial wages, just wait until normal retirement age before you start collecting, or so that you're not paying back everything.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Okay, and then if your Social Security is taxable, a lot of people don't know that they can have the money withheld at source.
Absolutely. So you can do a voluntary withholding. It's a W-4V form, and you can go to the Social Security office and you can hand in that form, and you can have voluntary withholdings. It would, of course, only be on the federal, because on the state, your Social Security is
It's
not
tax-free.
taxable.
Right. So if you're somebody that just started collecting Social Security, you have other sources of income, and you know you're going to owe taxes, and you don't want to make an estimated payment, quarterly payment, and you don't want to have extra withheld out of your pension plan, but you are going to owe money, you can call us at EG Tax, and we'll be very happy to help you to fill out those forms so that they can take it out of your Social Security check, so you just get a net check and you don't have to worry about
Hey,
it.
this is my show and tell moment. I also had another crazy letter this week. It was for a frivolous tax return. They were fining somebody $5,000 for
That's true. Frivolous. That's serious, though.
Yeah,
a frivolous tax return is when you put based upon
the Congress
right,
law. I don't
right,
think I should have to
right,
file.
and that is a bad thing.
But
That's a
I
bad
called the IRS, and they sent him a frivolous letter, a $5,000 fine, because his withholdings were too high above what his taxability was. They thought he was over withholding, and so it was frivolous. Anyways, they mailed him a sorry letter.
Oh, wow.
When you said the Social Security withholdings, I thought about that, because he had lots of. He goes, I'm afraid, so I have a lot. So they sent me this frivolous letter.
And that's the other thing. There's a lot of things going on. Wouldn't you agree, Chris, with the IRS? They're sending out all kinds of things that we've never seen before.
No.
And don't be intimidated. You do have a resource, and it's EG Tax, and you can come in, and we didn't have to do your return. Just bring in your return, and we will stand in the gap between you and the IRS.
He was very happy after he left. He said his wife was. Anyways, and then also going on, we're going to talk about. Have you started? Taking your Social Security may be taxable. Have you looked at your budget? Should you downsize?
That's true. If you're a senior and you're on fixed income and you're having problems making ends meet, sometimes the best thing you can do is move from where you were to someplace less expensive. Look at maybe downsizing. If you got 2 cars, move into 1 car.
Right.
You want to get those charge cards paid off. And that's another thing that we do at EG Tax. We will help you with your budget.
That's exactly right.
So you
And-
just it's so good to have somebody else look at your numbers.
And call us before you do something. Don't do it. Don't call us afterwards, because there's not a lot we can do afterwards. You're going to be making your own bed, and it may not be pretty.
That's right. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We're going to break right now for news, and we'll see you on the other side.
Now there was a time
like the song. Now, who's that, Tyler?
That's the heavy.
That's the heavy?
Yes.
Are you saying that I need to lose more weight?
I plead the fifth.
Okay, I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. All right, we're talking about things you should think about doing. You know, especially if you're a senior and you want to stay in your house and you maybe still got a little mortgage and the payments are really high and you're on a fixed income and you just don't know what to do and you don't want to move. A reverse mortgage might be, I feel like the guy on TV.
I know.
A reverse mortgage maybe. But truly, it may be something you want to look at. And basically what they do is they come and look at the equity in your house. Let's say you have $200,000 equity or $150,000 in equity, and you still maybe owe $50,000 on the mortgage. They pay off your mortgage and they give you the equity back per month.
Right.
And it's tax-free money. And basically, especially if you have no heirs, nobody
Well,
you
I
want
was
to
going
leave
to
things
say,
to.
I've recommended this to several clients, and they're like, no, I want something to leave for my heirs. And
Right,
so,
but see, here's the thing. That's true because you'll be whittling down, and there's a life insurance factor, so your heirs don't have to pay it back upon your death. But the thing is, what happens if it's a balancing act? If you don't have the money and you're not going to move, then you either live very poorly or you have to sell the house and move on. But this way, it kind of gives you your cake and eat it too.
Right.
So that's something. If you want help with that, you can call EG Tax. We'll be very happy to help you with that. And then right now, interest rates are like remarkably low.
Right. I heard they dropped this week. They got
did.
even lower.
I mean,
I was
if
surprised.
you have a mortgage over 4% and you're going to stay in your house, you really should think
Right,
about refinancing.
and I think you were talking to a young person beforehand, and he has lots of student loans, and they were like 8%. And so you suggested maybe his parents getting a home equity and wrapping that in.
That's exactly right,
Yeah.
because he was stuck. You know, here the parents, I said, your parents are not really getting in more debt. They're just moving the debt from high interest, basically non-deductible debt because he's making the payment, to deductible,
Right.
low interest debt. The payment, I think we figured it out, was like $258 a month, and I think he's paying $600 on just one of them. So, and it would just go on and on and on. So, using your home and that and the equity in your home is remarkable. But if you're somebody sitting there with have an interest rate over 4%, and even if you have not stellar credit, you really ought to look at refinancing because FHA might be the kind of mortgage that you'd want to do. And, you know, you can call us at EG Tax. We'll help you with some of the banks that are giving the best rates because we think of ourselves as a really great resource for everybody, not just taxes because that's our specialty, but really when you're involved with taxes, you're involved with a lot
Money.
of things.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
right.
you know, if we don't know, we'll try to hook you up with someone who does know
That's
that can
exactly
help
right.
you.
That's exactly right. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we got Tony. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
I am excellent, Esther, and I love to listen to the information that your show presents to the public at no cost. So it's a great show. It's been a great show all these years.
Thanks.
During this political campaign, and I know you dislike political campaigns, several people who are running for the Senate have said that they'd like to eliminate the Internal Revenue Service and get rid of it entirely. My question is, if this was to happen, would we go to a flat tax or what's the other one called? I forgot just a second. It just slipped my mind. There's a flat tax and there's another kind of tax.
I don't know. All I know is I would love to not pay taxes, you know, and I am a tax expert. That's what I have done, and I love helping people. But I will tell you, if they came up with a better, if you know, like for instance, Canada's got a value-added tax, right, which is basically another kind, and a sales tax and an income tax. Many places in Europe have the same kind of situation. But one thing I know is they have to come up with some revenue stream to keep all this stuff going. So whatever they do, and We just want to help
that's
people.
good, Esther, then what is can you describe the flat tax to me, or tell me what exactly that means? There's also another kind of tax that goes with that opposite of the flat tax. It's also based on consumption.
Right,
tax.
it's consumption tax, which is basically
which is a
national sales tax. And I will tell you, I think a national sales tax is the fairest tax that they could do. I do, because
how would it affect the people like that are getting under $15,000 a year?
Well, I mean, the flat tax that they had proposed was that the first, those people on the lower income stream would not pay any taxes. Now, how they would fund them with the earned income credit and all that, I don't know. And the people that were in the higher income bracket would, over the $15,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 exclusion they were talking about, would pay a flat rate, one rate altogether. But you have to remember, we're paying 15.3% and actually higher, 16 if you're in a higher tax bracket, in FICA and Medicare. We have income taxes starting at 10 after a large standard. Actually, if you're married filing a joint return, after $22,000 in income, and then it goes 10, 15, 25, 30, 33, 28. Right. 35. So it's a graduated tax bracket. So I'm sure people that are in the 40% bracket would love to pay at 20%.
Tony, what do you think they should do with the tax code? What is your opinion?
Well, Tiffany, by the way, I got a bar of soap for you that I'd like to
I
give
know.
you.
I was almost in tears.
Tiffany, when I heard that, my back hair stood up. All my hair on my head, which is left, stood up, and I said, that was a real slippage that I never expected from Tiff.
Okay.
But
That's
we all
true.
make mistakes, so
We do.
that's okay. No big deal. Well, what I like to see, a total revamp of the entire tax code so it would become more just. I also would like to see the 107, what is it, the Social Security limit on how much they can take out for, it's $107,000, right?
Right. Before
Well,
when
I'd
they
like to
stop.
see that. I'd like that to go away completely, and those people that make $1 million should be taxed accordingly. That's what's give us more funds and probably help us lower the tax rate.
Okay, so you're saying
And
that
by
you
the
think
way-
you think, Tony, that Social Security ought to go on forever and ever.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I paid into it. I'm on it now. I mean, other people that are paying into it should get something out of it.
Well,
you know,
but it's up to 107,000 that you're paying. Once you get to 107,000, it stops.
You
But
stop
then it
paying
picks
the
up
tax.
again if you're over $250,000. So it kind of has happened what you talked about. So you
Yeah.
do pay
Okay.
again
Thank you.
once you make $250,000. Once you get to that threshold if you're single. So thank you, Tony, for calling.
Thank you, and
Bye-bye.
Tiffany and Chris and Esther. God bless
Thank you.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Happy
Bye.
holidays.
All I want to know is if there's a flat tax and we're not there, what is Tony going to do on his Saturdays from now on?
You're going to miss us.
Well,
you would.
And I also believe in the Easter Bunny. I mean,
They won't.
They may modify. They may mess around with the tax code. How they can make it more fair, I don't know, because quite frankly, people don't pay taxes until they make $40-some thousand if they have kids. The income tax code is built so that they actually give you money if you're in the lower rungs. Who I think that is dealt with. I know Tony would never agree with me, but people that are upper income people that are paying 100% for their kids' education, 100% for their house. They get no assistance for college. They get no assistance for anything. They're paying they're paying right through the nose at the higher rates, and all their itemized deductions are starting to get phased back. Those people, the upper middle class are completely slammed. And I'd like to see them do something with the upper middle class because they're paying through the nose. And we've when you do tax returns, you can see a couple who are both working hard. They have kids with daycare. They may be making $120,000 collectively after they pay their income taxes and the daycare and the Social Security and their property taxes. They're down to around $50,000. Then you see a couple making $42,000 who don't pay any taxes, get refundable tax credits, free medical, and they're up to $50,000. And you say, wait, something doesn't.
Those are
compute
the
here.
couples that I benefit from filing married, filing separate, and I do countless numbers of times. Those are the couples because they won't. If you do married, filing separate, maybe they'll still get the child tax credit, and also it'll help on the state too.
Right,
So-
that's true. So, but I mean, it's very difficult because right now I think the upper middle class are just getting really beat up because there's nothing for them. Even with the Affordable Health Care Act, which I'm going to say tongue in cheek, the lower income get it for free, and the middle income all the way up, they're the people that are paying. And I just think that people are pretty much with their backs against the wall. So anyway, all right, we wanted to talk about this too. Get current. If you're somebody looking how to get some extra money, take a look at your landlines.
Right.
If you're using the old Bell system and they're charging you $100 a month for your phone bill, you really need to go to Vonage or something.
Right.
And if you don't know how, you can call us. We'll help you with that. Look at 0% charge cards.
Yep. Chris and I had a few charge cards at high interest rate. And we got 0%, and we switched it all over to there for 18 months. It has 0% interest, and so it was
And
a
the
no-brainer.
other thing, review your portfolio. If you're somebody that has big capital gains and your broker has sold those and you have big gains in your portfolio, you're going to pass out at tax time. I'm going to guarantee you. So you still have 2 months to take some of the losers in your portfolio to offset your gainers. Because if you had gainers of $50,000 on the left-hand side, but you have some losers that are maybe $30,000, you can sell the losers to cover your gainers. Now you only have 20. And after 31 days, Chris, what can you do?
You can buy it back.
You can buy back the losers, right?
Yep.
So that, like, if you think that it's going to go back up, all right? I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. We'll see you on the other side. I don't like that so good. All right, what
Too
band
loud
is
for
that? That's who?
Too loud for you?
No, it's not too loud. Are you kidding me?
There's-
I can do hard rap or rock. I can do hard anything. Anyway, I'm Esther
Hard
Gullius.
cider.
Hard cider, too. I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930. We're going to go to the phones and talk to Mike in Grand Island. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
So I have a stock that just got acquired. So a company was acquired by a second company, and the stock or the payout is about half of it is in the stock of the new company, and the other half is in cash. So clearly, the cash part of it is taxable for the capital gain. How about the acquiring stock? If there's a gain there, let's say it's a $17 a share stock, and really I paid $9 a share for the prior company. Do I have to pay a capital gain on the new stock?
Generally speaking, that would not be taxable till you sell the new stock.
Very good.
But I would tell you, that's just off the top of my head. What I'd like you to do is call the office on Monday so we could take a look at what the paperwork says to make sure that it wasn't taxable now.
And make sure, it depends if they issued a 1099-B also.
Right. So,
Very good.
so generally speaking, it wouldn't be taxable until the sale of the stock that you acquired. But give us a call and we'll take a look at your paperwork to make sure. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
appreciate
Mike.
it.
I'm Esther Gullius, the tax lady, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone, and we're going to Joe in Jamestown. Hey, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What can we do for you?
Well, I just had a question about an S corporation.
Sure.
I am one of the members of an S corporation, but I'm on a fixed payroll through that corporation. So at the end of the year, I don't make any more money than if the company makes any more money. So is it advantageous for me to just drop out of the board?
Okay,
board of
so
directors?
this is how an S corporation works. When the corporation return is done, all the shareholders split up whatever net profit is left in the corporation or whatever net loss is in the corporation, and a K-1 is issued to Joe for your
Right.
gain or loss. So
Right.
are you saying you're not getting a K-1?
Well, I am, but the money goes back into the company. So like last year,
I think you mean you get a
it's
fixed
small-
salary every
it's a
year,
small
right?
company, so it's like I think I showed like 17 or 20,000.
But
gain.
what did the K-1 say, Joe?
I think it was 17,000.
Okay, so 17,000 went back into the corporation, right? So the company made money, and so your net profit went back. They didn't distribute any of the income to you?
No, because right now the company is not doing so good. So as the board of directors, that's part of what we do is we put it back into the company.
Okay,
Well, you're
so
getting
his basis is.
Well,
is
you're
low.
getting a W-2. You're taking a paycheck.
I'm talking about the K-1.
Right.
yeah,
But
I am.
what might be happening is your W-2 might be $30,000. The net profit 17, and they're saying you already got your share of the net profit in your W-2. So if it exceeds the 30,000, I mean, it's something you would have to look with how you set it up when you.
Couldn't have been. Can't be, because the W-2 is an expense to the corporation, and that
Right,
would be
right, but-
an expense before the net profit. So the bottom line.
I was confused because he said he gets a fixed every year. I was confused by that. Weren't you confused by that, Chris?
You get a W-2, Joe, correct?
Yeah,
And they don't pay you the 17,000 that's in the
No.
K-1,
No.
and it gets
No.
reinvested in the corporation.
It gets
So his
reinvested in
basis
the
is going up.
His
All right.
basis.
So here's the thing, Joe. Because you're a shareholder, doesn't the company have an intrinsic value? If the company were for sale, wouldn't the company be worth something?
yeah, it would be, but.
All right, and so you're a shareholder, so you have to understand the money that they didn't distribute that's still being
Goes back into the company.
right, and that increases your cost basis in the stock. So let's say that they decide to sell 3 years from now for $1 million. Okay, and with all your reinvested money in the corporation, your basis. Let's say that they give you $200,000, you might have $100,000 basis. So all that's going to be taxable is $100, because the money that you're being taxed on that's being reinvested is increasing your cost basis in the company, so that when you sell it, you're going to get it then.
So I think, Joe, you asked if it was a good way to go, and I think Esther just answered your question and said, yes, it is a good way to go.
Otherwise,
Okay,
you
yeah,
can
that-
sell right now, Joe, and then they can give you whatever. But if the company has intrinsic value, if there's value in the company, then it's not costing you anything to do this except at tax time, right?
At that time, yeah, correct.
All right, but if the company's not doing good, this is what's so interesting to me. How could you be making money?
Right.
How are you getting
I
that
mean, that's
W-2?
my
Well, he
question.
should get a basis analysis.
You really
Yeah, no,
need.
I think you answered the question. I mean, that's. I didn't look at it like that. See?
Because the whole thing is, if like for instance, let's say your corporation, let's say it's worth $3 million, your reinvested dividends, your basis is going up. So when you go to sell, and you're still, let's say 5 years from now, it's worth $10 million. I mean, that's what's really good. But what's interesting to me is that you said the company's not doing good. So I'm wondering how there could be a bottom line net profit if the company's not doing good. Is the company just borrowing all the money from the shareholders to keep it going?
Yeah, basically. Right now,
I think you should
It's actually it's in the healthcare industry, so the reimbursements are so bad right now that that's part of the reason that that's the way the money's kind of cycled through the company. But yeah, I was just thinking.
Well, if you really if you think, and here's the thing. I know that it's really difficult getting reimbursed. The medical community is really taking a hammering.
Oh, yeah,
trying to get
it's been
reimbursed.
bad.
It's terrible. The whole Obamacare thing, and let's even go on there. But if you think this thing is going to turn around and there would be a value somewhere down the line, I would stay the shareholder. Because this year, certainly, if you're not getting reimbursed, unless you're on an accrual basis, there would be no increase on the bottom line. So, but if you want us to look at the S Corp, Joe, you could give us a call, and we'll be very happy to give you some pointers as a corporation.
Yeah, that's great.
So just call us at 632-7886, and we'll be very happy to help you and the board. We'll come down. We'll come down to Jamestown and do a little coffee with you guys and look at everything. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye. That's the whole thing, is you have to not only look at you got to look at your asset value.
Yeah, you said to him when you look at the basis and when you go to sell it made sense to him.
Yeah.
Then. It made sense to
Okay,
him.
other things you guys want to think about here, I think. Don't take, this time of year, Christmas is coming. I know you want to be generous. Don't take money out of your pension
I can
plan.
hear Esther screaming now.
Don't
do
take
it.
money out of your. Use it for getting old. Otherwise, they're going to penalize you if you're under the age of 59 and a half. You can borrow against your pension plan. You got to pay it back within 5 years. Look at the home equity. Sell stuff. Maybe you got stuff in your garage that you can sell. Put it on eBay. Get money other ways, but try not to use your pension. Second thing, don't get emotional. Many times people take money out of their pension plans because they don't want to be in debt, but they don't realize that pension is an asset. If you take it out, you've reduced the asset value and your pension plan. So you actually have taken something out, and after you get done paying the taxes, now you're really up the creek without a paddle. And the other thing is, seek the advice of a professional. I don't care if you go to see any other tax firm. You don't have to see us.
I thought you were saying tell everybody to lay down on a couch and tell them about their father.
No. I mean, you need counsel. It's just, like Tiffany had just said, it's really important that before you do it, you call and find out what somebody else would say before you go and shoot yourself in the foot.
Chris had a client on Friday, and he was having a heck of a time getting his W-2s and 1099s, and Chris went on the IRS website and got it, and the guy was tickled pink.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important. A professional, it's like going to the doctor or sitting home with self-medicating. A professional is a professional, right? Other thing, open enrollment, they pushed it back, right?
It's November 15th, and you have 1 month, November 15th to December 15th, to get insurance starting January 1st.
And I think Esther said the federal line is not open right now.
The
federal in the New York State's not open yet. It won't open until November 15th.
Right. And people that have, like, for instance, we have clients in Florida who just say it's impossible to deal with the federal. We're really thankful that we're in New York State. Another thing you might want to think about from a financial thing is buy a house.
Yep, interest rates
are so low. Buy a rental, and don't forget your finances. I mean, managing anything requires you to be active. And so get actively involved with your finances, and it'll bless you in the back end, I will tell you. So, and again, EG Tax is a resource for you. We don't charge you to help you. We're very happy to help you. And you can call EG Tax at 632-7886. Our website is egtax.com.
Like us on Facebook, hear the radio show there, put suggestions for future shows, get tax tips all throughout the week, throughout the year.
I mean, when we're in the office during the off season, people say to me when it's tax time, "What do you do in the summer?" We help people all year long, and so we're there to help you. So have a wonderful week. Until next Saturday, I'm Esther Gullius with Tiffany Fabian and Christopher Fabian and EG Tax. We'll talk to you next week. Bye bye.